long here on the NQ at 946s. To be honest, that is the exact level that I have, 946.25, which is literally two ticks above where I'd want to go long anyway. So I am happy with it. And this will be one of those plays where I can get stopped at, for example, on my other accounts, I'm going to use 920s as a stop. But then if we get back above the 38, I can get back in. Hopefully a win-win. Just realized I haven't got my... I've also downloaded... I already paid for Twitter Pro anyway, but I've got Tweet... It used to be called TweetDeck. And then I've just got Walter, Bloomberg, and Financial Juice on there. Just so I can see both the news. Any heavy-hitting news, it will come straight to me. And I just see that straight away, which is good. Anyone taking any trades this morning? It's only 10 minutes into the open, and I'm already in a position. Wow. I think the second buy zone here, if you can see my screen, if we get this pullback down here, 823s, that will be beautiful. I don't mind getting stopped out once or twice if we get this. This will be a beautiful trade if we get it. I just don't know if we're going to. So happy to take the more aggressive trade. I genuinely always think you have two kind of trades on the day. You have that kind of more aggressive trade, which is like following the current trend, or you have that fake out and then the next support. Because you have to think, most of the time the market's long. When you're in an uptrend like this, in my opinion, again, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, pullback longs are always valid until you are. And it's a tricky one because I know you're going to say the BX is red on the daily, and I do get that. But whenever you have a down day like what we had on that Trump day on Friday, you sometimes just have to look at the weekly and just look, the weekly is in full force. So a day like that can just mess up the daily because obviously it's going to bring everything down. But I follow quite a few technicians online, and a lot of people, they're not even accounting for Friday in terms of volume profile or anything like that. It's just like they've not even included it in their analysis. So, and these are people that are trading with like 20, 30, 40 years. Probably one of those days where, yes, it's going to affect BX and stuff like that on the daily, but you go to the weekly, you're still green and very green. So that's why I'm still bullish this week in terms of buying longs, because my thesis has been long ever since traded that halfway back on April. And of course, that coincides with Trump saying buy. This is a great time to buy, right? So don't try and reinvent the wheel, right? If you've got the president saying buy in a halfway back ATR reversal on the weekly and the daily, you got to just follow that trend. I don't think we have any heavy news this week. Today, only a medium to strength kind of news, which is just a couple of Fed speakers, I believe. And I don't think there's much tomorrow either. So I think it's next week we have news. Back down to those lows. Again, I'm not too fussed if this holds or not. I want smart money, but I want the smart buy zone, which you can see on my screen. If we get that smart buy zone, then we're good, right? It's going to be a 150-point rally probably from there. So I don't mind either way. But this is that 920. So I'm out on my take profit. I'll get back in if we get above 946s. I'm only risking 25. I'm about to get re-entered. I'm back in on my take profit. I just basically lost 24 points. I'm trading 4 micros on that account. They're very similar to this, really, but it's not. I'm still up $3,000 on those accounts times 4. Just a bit of a wild swing this morning. Look at that beautiful moves, guys. Look at that halfway back. Can you see my screen? Oh no, I've got to keep this on. Look at that. This was the exact 921. Oh my days. Beautiful. This is going, guys, this is going 7. Let's move these targets up. We're not messing about. What are we fooling ourselves for? This is going to 20,070. What a move. It amazes me sometimes how accurate these fibs can be in conjunction with diamonds and crazy. Hello, high of day. I'm up like 260. I'm up 40 points. I do want to see if we can stay in this trend by 10 o'clock, because then we'll have a new straight back down. Very annoying. Sold again. Sold straight at resistance for now. I think it's going to be so much cleaner once you can hold 990s, which is right there. Look, can you see? Oh, 990s. Because this is basically all of the support on the overnight. So this is now support turning resistance. So you really need to clear 990s and hold. But I'm going to give it a chance. Pretty much at break even for now. That was a 65.5 minute up, 65.5 down. I'll wait for the smart buy zone at 820s. Unless we're above again by 10 o'clock. I like 890. I do like 890, 895s as a fun. That's the full same anchor new high, 38. But I want to keep this smart buy zone there at 820s, 880s. I am going to add into this 880s. Go. Got a buy order out there at pretty much 82s. We'll see if we get it. I don't know if we're going to get it, but this is, I don't want to get stopped out on this just for it to run 50 points back up. This is the market we're in, where it's just 50 points up, 50 points down. So ATR is now 53 versus what was 35 on the open. So we are expanding. It's about in line with what my stop would normally be, but I'm giving this just a little bit more room just in case we do get that sweep lower and then rally right back up. This isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's giving us lots of room now, even higher. From here now all the way up to 2570s is 170 points. It's not a bad thing. I'll take this off just for now because I don't want it looking messy on stream, but I want to keep it on just in case I'm going to get tagged, but it looks a bit messy if you guys don't know what's going on. But essentially this is my stop here at 68s, but I am actually adding an extra 5 micros. If we get above my break, if we get above my entry, I'll just take this off because it's going to look a bit weird. People will think these are orders. These will only get executed. These orders here in the dotted line are pending based on if this trades, if that makes sense. I know most of you get. If we get above my break even, I'll take this off for now. I could always mark it in if we come down to it. I've got an alert. I need to go to the toilet, so back in a couple of minutes. Uses that level if you're interested. I would add at 82s if we come down to that level, but I need to go to the toilet. You know what? I just realised something even sexier. In fact, I think it did it on the screen whilst I was in the toilet. So look at my screen here. So I just did this while I was on the loo, but I had this extension here which tagged the 61 of the high to high. So this was the traditional from here to here. And I was like, you know what, actually, let me just draw to the open just because we ATR'd. A lot of volume was on the open. So we came down to the 50, up to the 47s is the target, right? So instead of it being 2570s, 2547, 2570s are both valid targets. The reason being is because we've now got 2 draws. So we've still got the draw from yesterday. So this can go 47s, 2547s, and 2570s. So both targets are valid. It just gives us a little bit of a cushion to take some profit off and pay ourselves. So this is going to be a 100-point trade from entry to target. And that's why on a trade like that, I'm probably okay. Oh, God, what a day, guys. What a day. Beautiful. Look at this. This is 5 micros, and this is going to be a $1,000 trade. Is that right? 100-point share. This will be a $1,000 trade, guys, using 5 micros. If we go to targets, and we traded it at 945, and we're already up on that. 112 points. So if you got the exact low, and what's crazy about this actually traded a higher low at 950. So entry on the 950 low, risking the previous low, 11 points, up 100 so far. So that's like 10-hour trade, which is crazy. But I'm going to try and see if we can get that technical target, which will be a sweep of overnight highs. And then hopefully we get that 2547 up here. Celsius up 522. Very nice. I need $650 to pass my first 50k account and all 4 accounts together. Beautiful. Let's have a look. I should have took my 900 call out. Lucian, 900s was beautiful, bro. That was the low. Literally, look at this. This is such a nice move, guys. I'm up 600. I could take some profit here. I'm up 3.3 on the other 4 accounts as well. The target is 2547, but it's always worth taking some up at high. So I'm going to just pay myself some on here just because this is already, a 50-point trade. My wheelhouse is 50 to 70 points for at least a target is worth it, in my opinion. So 3 micros left. I do think we go higher, but at the same time, I did have a bit of a drawdown here. 50-point drawdown, which is because I was entering on the overnight high, not the RTH high. That's not an excuse, but that difference there is 22 points. So that's, if I was 22 points lower, I would have probably only had 30 points of drawdown, which isn't awful if I'm going for like bare minimum 50. Miller, beautiful. Love to see it. If I can get that on the reel. There we go. Miller featuring on the reel, Matrix style PNL. Beautiful. Green like a tree. Let's go. These are my perfect days where we're in and we're done by like 10:30, 11. You don't need to trade full time, right? It's like, I used to say this back in the day, trading is a 2 to 3 day a week job, but it can only be like a couple hours on those days. So really, sometimes it's an 8-hour week. If I didn't need to do all the I don't need to, but if I didn't do all my editing and my recording and all the room stuff, I could literally just be probably 4 to 8 hours a week. But it ends up being more because I'm a businessman. We came very close to that target. So we came 20 points away from that target. So I will give this 25 minutes to half an hour is a good rule of thumb. And since this traded at 9:45, that's pretty much going to take us to what? 10:15. So let's see where we are at 10:15. If we've not completed that target, I'll most likely take another one off and move my stop up as well, just to lock in a little bit more. Hopefully we complete within the next 10 minutes. That'd be a full. That's a green diamond as well. That's a green. We just created a green diamond on the half an hour as well. So beautiful. This should just go. Yeah. And we just traded in regard to the upside. We're about to. Sam's not here. He's not going to be here till 3 our time. This is going full completions. Sam's not here till, he's been such a good day. He's not here till about 3 UK time. So unfortunately, we're going to be done by the time he gets here. So he'll have to watch the stream on replay. But this is going full targets. Beautiful. Oh, baby. There is a reason to take some off at 28. So I'm going to just take that off at 28 if I can get it. Just purely because if you look at 9:45, that 5-minute ATR into the target, that negative 100 of that range, that is where we are. So the 5-minute candle at 9:45, if you measure the high to low and 100% of that range, that's where we just came to. So I just took some off of my take profits as well. Oh, beautiful. I'm at 3,600 on those accounts. I'm just going to take them off on there. 3,560 times 4. In fact, 3,560 minus the 1,500 drawdown that I need. I just took a $1,500 account into 3,500 basically. And I had zero, I had drawdown on that micro, but I already had the account built up. So my drawdown on the day is, my max drawdown is like $65. How crazy is that? So I've got 2,060 times 4 accounts times 80. I can take out $6,600 tonight, which is dollars to pounds. That is £5,000. I did that in one day. How crazy is that? Yeah, so I think it was wise taking some off. You can see my screen here. I think it was somewhat wise taking some off there. So you see, this is where we traded the 50. If anyone's got the indicators, these pink bars are, oh, you probably know what they are, but they're the full negative 100s, right? And that's where we just came up to. So obviously, I think we're most likely going to trade the 25.47 and the 25.70 because we're so close to it. But I don't mind taking some profits off here when we've already ran 140 points. If you're wondering why, that is the reason behind it. And we're still not technically trending. I know we are, but in terms of what I've been building, it's not actually a true trend yet, which I'm a little bit more. From 11 o'clock onwards, we could probably start to trend. But right now, this is more just a higher probability that we bid and go higher, but it's not a true trend yet. I'm taking that off at 47. Well, this will be a quick work day for me. Starting on this, let's see if I can push in 5. Bro, Miller, get some, if you haven't already, get some top step accounts. They're better than, I would use top step if I could. The thing is, to take profit, it takes 5 days to pass them. You have to have 5 days, whereas I like to pass them in a little too. But if you haven't already, probably get some top step accounts as well. It's a tricky one. I don't really know where to place, but all I'm going to really do is just put it at the 10-minute. I'm about to get taken out anyway. This is a trick one. You have to have your stop. You know what? Just in terms of dynamic risk, it makes no sense. I was about to say I have to have my stop at, like, say, the 10-minute low. But that makes no sense because that 10-minute low is 910s. I'm not going to risk it coming all the way back down to 910. So it's just wise to take it off. I know we probably go higher, but from a dynamic risk point of view, it just makes no sense. So that there, guys, was $800 in half an hour. Another day, another example of mastery in full flow. I'm a bit annoyed that I took some drawdown on it, I'm not going to lie. But it's because I bidded the 38 and not the 50. So you're always going to have a bit of variance, but whatever. I still think that was a good trade, even though there's a bit of drawdown. Anyway, let's break that trade down. Who's on stream now? Where are you guys? Cool. There you go. You've just completed that target. Oh, so good. Let me just check that I'm out of all my accounts because now I'm trading multiple accounts. I have this weird feeling that I'm always long on an account somewhere, and I just want to make sure I'm fully out. I've got no orders open. We're all good. This is a big day. This is a $15,000 day for me. Very good. And I got some on the personal. Right, let's break it down. That's pretty much what I broke down on the YouTube trade plan this morning, and we have just got both of those targets filled. This was my overnight long targets, and you are seeing this in real time. And just another great example. So if there's any questions surrounding this trade, let me know. I'm going to keep this fairly short just simply because I've already spoke about it quite a lot today anyway. But if there's any other questions that you have in terms of that I haven't broken down, let me know. But in short, if we go back to yesterday, you guys were probably here, or guys and girls were here yesterday. We traded. This was the ATR reversal up. This was also, again, basically a 4-hour low signal. That was confirmed. It traded the halfway back. That gives us a technical target, which has just filled, right? So long at the 50 on the overnight, meaning that's where algos are probably long. And that completion is now where we gravitate towards, which is 25,070. If we weren't long at this area, what do? We wait for other extensions to form, which would be classed as like a micro extension. That traded 8 o'clock. Again, I didn't take that long. I wasn't at the market at 8 o'clock, but what I did do is waited for the high to high. That traded, ATR reversal up. And we come down into what was the same anchor new high of that at the 50, never break the 62. you've just completed that target. This is now 2 targets lining up. The high to high lining up on the overnight with also the halfway back lining up at the same level. So hopefully we just gun higher, because I've got quite a lot of money invested in my long-term portfolio and I need us to go up because I'm still in a little bit of drawdown. Range on the day, ETH is now traded 350 points. That's 86% of the average daily range. The weekly is also at 86%. Weekly is also at 86%, so we're at that upper limit on the week. So I would probably maybe take tomorrow a bit easier than what are we on tomorrow? Maybe take tomorrow a bit easier, then maybe push Friday a little bit harder, just purely in terms of range. We could complete today and tomorrow, then Friday just doing nothing, but most likely it'll be the other way around. I would probably trade smaller tomorrow and then same size on Friday, just in terms of if you look at where we are in the week. So any questions, let me know. Insider trading has been diabolical. Beautiful. I'm so sorry, Sam. I know, bro. But look what we just did. This is what we just did, and you missed it. You waste, man. And I'm up 3,560 times 4 accounts on the take profit accounts as well. So it's a good day. I'm gonna just have an early day today, I think. I'll get this video uploaded and edited. But you pretty much was looking at the halfway back on yesterday's trade, Sam. Traditional on the overnight, sorry, and then there was a high to high, which you'll be able to see anyway on your screen. Traded at 940, and that has just gone to its target. So I had 2 buy zones. The first one was marked at around, what did I put it at? My first buy zone was in the room at 946 down here. So pretty much down at that area. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to it. I might stay on just for a little bit just to edit this video if you want me to stay on. I won't be trading, but if you're more than happy to get off. You cringes that I just said another day live on stream, living my best life. This is what I wanted to do all my life. Well, for a long period of my life, and I do it every day. So I'm going to enjoy it. It took me a fucking long time to get here, so I'm going to enjoy it. We went 50 points above my take profit.